It's another day, another everything money roast. Welcome back to Strongman Personal Finance. My name is Christopher Belly. I'm a certified CPA accountant. I'm a fake boglehead investor. I'm author of the book Stop Being a Broke Loser. It's on Amazon, baby. Yeah, go buy my book, bro. And today, we're going to do a video reaction to Paul Gabriel, whatever stupid freaking name is, who decided to sell Alibaba for a tax loss harvest. And we got to look at his reasoning, okay? And we'll get into what tax loss harvesting is. But we're going to react to the video. I'm going to give you my commentary. And I'm going to show you why I think what Paul did is incredibly freaking stupid, okay? Because tax loss harvesting, while it makes sense from a tax standpoint, can be very dangerous if you're doing it with individual stocks. So let's go ahead and watch this video of Paul, the genius, bro, and I'll give you my feedback.
Guys, I just did a tax loss harvest on Alibaba. So this is what I did. I had a nice big loss in Alibaba. I had a ton of options income, and my QQQ short has a huge gain this year, and it's all short term. So I had a short term loss in Baba. I sold all my Baba the other day, but part of the tax loss harvest that makes it work is I bought a similar stock that was I deemed to be undervalued that would probably work in the same way, because I have 31 days to have to wait before I buy Baba back. So what did I do? I sold Baba the other day when it went out, and I bought Baidu instead. So again, both Chinese companies, I think this is a China problem that we have right now. All the Chinese companies are down, and part of our legal requirement is to disclose to you when I sell something that I talk about. So I sold.
Oh boy. Okay. The strategy can make sense. Here's why. On your tax form, at least in the United States, and don't take this as tax advice, okay? If you want a tax loss harvest, you can actually screw it up significantly, okay? If you want a tax loss harvest, go consult a CPA that knows your financial position. I'm not going to tell you to do this, but you can tax loss harvest. And what he's saying is true. If you have a massive gain, you will pay massive taxes on that gain, especially if it's a short-term capital gain, unless you can offset it with losses. Because how it works is you have gains, realized gains, not unrealized gain. A realized gain is when you sell something. If you don't sell something, there's not a taxable gain. But when you sell something at a gain and then you sell something at a loss on your tax form, you can net them together. And what that does is that actually reduces how much tax you pay because you're taxed on your net gain. Now, if you have a net loss, you can reduce your tax bill, your ordinary income, up to $3,000 per year. And whatever you don't use gets carried forward into the future. Okay. And I actually did the same thing. I had a loss and this is only in a taxable account. Okay. Like I said, do not freaking do this and think you're smart because you'll screw it up. If you have a loss in a taxable account, which I did, I had VXUS, which is international stocks, and then I had the VT ETF. And I said, okay, I'm down on VXUS, I'm down on VT. I don't want VXUS and VT. They're pretty correlated, it's obviously. And I decided to sell VXUS, and I had a $3,000 loss. I lost money, bro. However, I immediately went and bought VT. And I don't believe that is a substantially identical or equivalent security. Okay. And what that did is I just bought VT, right? And on my tax form, I now have a $3,000 loss. And if I have a net loss overall for the year, I can reduce my ordinary income by up to $3,000. Now, Jeremy Lefebvre says you can't do that on his course that he charges for. You can, but you need to consult a CPA. Here's the problem, okay? Some things are highly, highly, highly correlated. And correlation just means if something goes up, the thing that it's correlated with goes up with it. And if it goes down, it goes down with it. Let's go look at the correlation between Baidu, which is what he said he bought, right? And Baba. And then I'm going to show you why it's a terrible idea. Number one, indices can have a lot more correlation, which I'll show you. Individual stocks may not be necessarily correlated, not in the freaking slightest. You could have bad news come out about Baidu that is in excess of all the bad news in China. Let's say news comes out that Baba's cloud revenue went up 20% in a quarter. Baba could freaking moon. In the same instance, bad news could come out about Baidu, which for what it looks like, it's like the Google of China, basically. I'm sure it's more than that. Bad news could come out about Baidu, and it could absolutely tank. Now, what he did was he said, okay, I got a loss with Baba, and as long as I don't buy it back within 30 days, I won't have a wash sale, which is true, and I won't have to add that basis, that loss to my basis. Consult the tax advisor. But what I'm saying is he sold Baba. Baba is gone. Now he sold Baba. Now he has Baidu. Baidu could crash massively for any number of reasons, and Baba could go up for any number of reasons. And now he's going to be in a scenario where maybe he didn't really want Baidu, right? Because he's thinking, oh, they're just going to go up and down in the same amount, because they're all Chinese stocks, right? They're all exactly the same. But he could be in a scenario where now he's holding Baidu. He didn't really do any research into it. It seems like he didn't. And it could be massively down, and Baba could be massively up. And guess what? If he wants to buy back into Baba, now he's got to pay a freaking fortune for it when he could have just held the stock. Okay? That's what I'm saying there. And if we go look at the correlations, let's go look at the correlations. So I've got Baba and Baidu. Now, I'm not a statistician, okay? But basically, the lower this number right here, the less of a correlation it has, okay? So it looks like they're positively correlated. So if Baba moves, Baidu also moves up or down with Baba, but not nearly as much, okay? What that means is the lower that number is, the less correlated. Now, if there's a negative correlation, that's really freaking bad, especially when it comes to a tax loss harvest. I don't think that's a strong enough correlation on top of they're two entirely different companies, okay? One's an e-commerce giant and one's a freaking search engine. Why would you do that, okay? It doesn't make sense to me. Now, something that would make more sense to me, I'm not saying to do this, is if you had VTI, which is the total U.S. market, and VOO. Look at that, the S&P 500. Look at the correlation here, 1-to-1. They basically move in sync, obviously, because VTI is the whole U.S. stock market. VOO is the top 508 ticker symbols, something like that. It's 80%. VOO is 80% of VTI, okay? Or VOO is 80%. Yeah, VOO is 80% of VTI. So you can look at the correlations. They're insanely highly correlated. I mean, when one moves, the other one moves exactly with it. And if you want a tax loss harvest, as long as you think you can survive an audit, because they can't be substantially identical, I think is the terminology, you could potentially tax loss harvest this in a taxable account. However, when it comes to individual stocks, correlations can change, and they can change very quickly. And you may end up bag holding a stock that you didn't want to hold because you wanted to save a little bit on taxes, okay? This is Paul's decision. I get it, but I don't think this is smart, okay? And I don't think you should employ these kind of strategies. I'm sure he has tax advisors. But if you're watching that video, and we really don't need to watch anymore. This is basically what he did. Oh, I have to disclose it, blah, 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 blah. And he talks about, oh, what is your tax loss harvest? If you want to do this, you need to be very careful, number one, because you can make any number of mistakes. You could do what I said. You could buy another stock that you think is correlated. Oh, they're both Chinese stocks. And the one you buy tanks massively, and the one you wanted to hold goes up massively. And now you have to pay a higher price for it. So I don't know what to say. I mean, I don't think they should talk about this kind of stuff. I mean, I get if he has to disclose it, okay, but this is this could be a potentially very dangerous thing. And the worst thing you could do is tax loss harvest, contribute to a retirement account, and then buy back whatever stock you wanted, because that loss is gone forever. Okay, it's gone forever. So you need to be very careful. This is a stupid video. I don't like what he did, and I think it's a bad idea. Let me know your thoughts. I know that tax loss harvesting was dumb. I mean, it's not, though. It can be smart. Like I said, with the VTI VOO scenario, that makes sense to me. They're 100% correlated, basically. So, like, what's the freaking harm? VTI is not going to tank, and VOO is going to move, because they're basically the same thing. Let's see. BUSSY hands. And let's see if he actually buys Bob. That's the other thing that kills me. It's like, just hold on to the freaking stock, man. Like, come on. Especially at a time like this, the stock tanks. People may not understand, or he may just be full of crap. And they're gonna be like, "Why are you selling Baba, bro? Weren't you a huge Baba shill?" And right after it freaking tanks, now you're selling it. People aren't gonna get it. I'm losing respect for EM, getting more respect for Chris. However, that's right. VT tax advantage accounts. You like my green screen? It's perfect, isn't it? The China grift is over. It ain't over. It ain't over till it's over. Let's see. They were grifters from the start. They called out grifters only to grow their channel. Now with so many subs, they have started their own trading group. I'll be addressing that tomorrow in a dedicated video. I don't have time to prepare it tonight. I think Baba stock is a scary one. It is not selling on. It is irrational. A stock that can remain irrational for a long time. That's true. That is very true. Let's see. Hi, strong man. Everybody's selling Baba's a scrub. I don't want no scrubs. I'm just going to hold it, man. I'm not going to tax loss. Oh, because I actually made a video about this maybe 6 months ago. And I was like, I had the same bright idea as Paul. And I was like, oh, I can sell Baba and buy like JD and tax loss HaRvEsT. And then I can buy Baba back once that wash sale window expires. Oh my God. And then the very next day, like I didn't do it. But I think Baba went up like 10 or 15% and JD didn't do anything. So it's like, oh crap, here we go. Am I going to be able to buy Baba back at the price that I like it? Let's see. Paul is legally required to disclose when he sells any stocks. He made a... I don't believe that. That's BS. This is the worst timing to do that. Seriously? Come on, man. Already Baba up 3 today. And yeah, exactly. See? They're different companies. Even though they're all in China, and I'm sure there's some correlation, they're different companies. This is not like an index that has a lot of overlap. These are entirely different companies. One can go up and one can go down. Oh, and you see 93% cash? Good Lord. I mean, maybe that'll work out for him, but the stock market can turn around real quick, man. Look at the pandemic crash. Just went down and bloop, right back up. And, oh, I got cash. Oh, buy. Too late. I'm looking for strongman's grift. My grift is going to be seminars, and I might make an accounting course at some point, okay? Which is a massive grift, obviously. Didn't Paul claim he wrote off $1 million? And that's the thing. Like, is he going to close his QQQ short? I mean, that could blow up in his face, and then he just has a bunch of losses. I mean, who freaking knows? Paul just wants people to believe he actually has capital gains. And that's another thing. I'm like, do you really have capital gains, Paul? Do you really have capital gains? Any news on what's... I haven't heard from him. Paul definitely should have mentioned the 3K limit. Now, here's the thing, but there is a limit that you can write off every year if you have a net capital loss at the end of everything. But if you have if you sell a stock at a massive gain and then you have a massive loss, you can net them out and still not pay a lot of taxes. So he could save himself a lot of taxes. My argument is, it's stupid that he bought another Chinese company that is a completely different company because, oh, they're both Chinese stocks, because there's not that strong of a correlation there. And even if there's past correlation, that doesn't mean future correlation because they're different companies. They're not like the same index. Please, strongman, don't tell me Meta's still a buy. So it went down and it's less of a buy now? Is that what you're saying? What would you do if Lafufu sold Tattooed Chef? Well, I would hammer him for a couple days and then go back to normal, and then he would get more subs and more ad revenue, and we call it a day. Everything Money is a bussy baby boy who had a rich daddy. That's true. How does Ape Father have more subs? You give quality info. Because it's YouTube, dude. The clowns win. Take the black pill. Take the finance black pill. If you're a clown, you get big. I sold 1,700 VT and bought. I mean, yeah, I guess that's a loss HaRvEsT there. I think he was short the NASDAQ. If he shorted near the top and held, it's like a 30% return. Yeah, let's see. Imagine swapping Foot Locker for TaX because they're both American stocks. That's what he did. But look at the VTI and VOO correlation. It's like beautiful. Like that makes sense to me. 100% makes sense to me. And yeah, he's got a big Q. I mean, dude, he's a trade. He's not a. I'm a value investor. He's like shorting the QQQ. Get out of here. Lafufu subs are actually down. He'll trust me. He'll wait till the clown market comes back. He'll grow, guaranteed. And even if he doesn't grow, he ain't leaving. Like, how else can he make money? He has to find some other grift if his YouTube channel goes away. He will never give up his YouTube channel. And he'll destroy as many people's lives as he can for his ad revenue and his stupid business. That's a freaking scam. I trust Voyager Digital over Baba stock. Hey, everybody's got different opinions. Stay in long term. Stay in long. Stop tinkering with the account. The more you tinker, the easier it is to screw up. It's a good argument for index funds. All right, that's it. I think I have one more video, and then we'll call it a night. Cheers.